So this is a very straightforward question, but I have one small gripe about this. There is a frustrating aspect about the right answer choice itself. So let's look at the attack points here. So we start off with severely hindered by some problems. Now this is a past participle modifier start. So the past participle modifier will obviously apply to the subject of the clause, the subject which is right after the comma. So we can notice that the subject here is the fact. So what should be severely hindered by the problems? The fact. So that's illogical. A goes off. Now when we look at B, the small difference is that it starts with though, but it's still a modifier construction because this is not a clause. It still says though severely hindered by something. So once again, we just got to check what this modifier applies to, and we see it's the fact again. B goes off. Now, if we take a vertical scan close to the commas, we have C with the AQ division. We have D with that the AQ division. Now, this might seem like a very awkward construction, but please remember that if you start a sentence with that or a clause with that, it simply means the fact that. So the fact that the AQ division did something. So the severely hindered by is still modifying the fact. So obviously D is illogical, and be very careful about answer choice E because it does not say AQ division, it says AQ divisions, and this is the possessive confusion caused by the subject. Because obviously we need the modifier modifying AQ division, but this is modifying the AQ divisions also having something. Now guys, this is the gerund form, so this is actually the main subject of the clause, and so the modifier is modifying the having something. So E goes off. This leaves us with the right answer choice, C. Now as I said before, one frustrating aspect is that they use the pronoun this to refer to an action that the AQ division is to carry out. But GMAT has always been against using a pronoun to refer to a full clause or a verb, because generally this demonstrative pronoun would work if the next clause had but this action was not something something. So we don't have this noun here, and that's exactly what is the frustrating part, because in so many previous questions these kind of answer choices go wrong because they have mentioned that a pronoun cannot refer to an action. So I guess in the current version of the official guide, GMAT has kind of become a little more tolerant with a pronoun referring to the action. So in such cases, what does one do? What does a test taker do? Well, keep this as a preference rule. So if we have this one choice with a pronoun referring to an action, don't straight away eliminate that. Rather, check if you can find very grave mistakes in all the other choices. If you do find them, then obviously all the others go out, as is the case in this question, and we're just left with C because the modifier works perfectly, and the modifier rule is obviously a much more important rule than a pronoun referring to an action. So in this case, we're left with no other choice but to pick C.